Ay, 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 oy vey, we got protests, not so much, but we get the virus, all these, last minute scandals, earthquakes, fires, tornadoes, hurricanes, floods. I don't know, UFOs, everything's coming at us, right? I don't know, we're still here though. We'll make it. Okay, we're gonna make it. Look at 1968, what happened, we didn't have iPhones and instant 24-hour news in 1968. So, look what's going on. It's so much so that I just gonna flip out, man. I'm just gonna flip. Alright. That's childish. Alright. Anyway, this is Critical Thinking for October 2020. And, some interesting developments. Quick overview on this situation with this virus is that the first people I was worried about more than anyone on earth, of course, China was. Well, we don't know the truth what was going on there. I don't know. But India was an arch enemy of China forever. They are actually in a war right now. Have 1.4 billion or more people. That's a lot, man. And they don't have exactly the highest quality health system. They're very poor. Their sanitary conditions, sewage. There's a lot of superstition. Not unlike this country. Let me tell you, we can't talk here, and even the United States. There's a lot of goofy, weird stuff here. So I'm not ranking on them by any measure. So we have a situation where I think they have like 100,000, a little over 100,000 people that passed away. It seems like mostly older, sick people, like in most cases. And what's the difference? One difference is they're the largest manufacturer of hydroxychloroquine and zinc combined. They're doing that there and handing it out. It's so cheap to make. Whatever explanation is there. In Sweden, I think they're not even 6,000 still now, out of over 10 million people. And they have major metropolitan centers in Sweden. It's not like some snowbound cabins in the middle, some people make it sound like everyone lives in a cabin in the woods. It's not true. I have friends in Malmo, Sweden. So, in fact, I'm considering putting in for my citizenship there now, a dual citizenship, because of this. I'm so impressed with a left-wing, science-based, tolerant country that was a model is being demonized by the world. And the creator of the Nobel Prize should give itself a Nobel Prize at this point. I really think that's appropriate. So what we have here, again, is never-ending extensions of disasters for political hype. It's apparent and undeniable at this point. The death rate is almost nothing. Serious illness is less than 0.1% of death rate, which has now been admitted by the government officials that they made an error in the math. Whoops, sorry. Okay. So I'm not going to go into that stuff anymore. I think most people know something's going on. It's very strange. One thing I wanted to mention, though, is it kind of upset me because I don't like to come across this way. I'm not a Republican, and I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent. Okay? And I vote independently. And it's hard to do. People rank on you, then you get mad. We need other parties besides these two. We're basically the same party. I call them Demon Cats and Republicans. Or Republicrats would be a blend. In the back room, they all have lobbyists. They all hang out. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that. They didn't say anything about the China trade when it started. And now they're all supposedly fighting for the American workers and freedom. But yet, we did business with a country that arrests and detains all its Muslims and bans Christians and things of that nature. They only let Jews there, because my friends were there, my rabbi friends, because they think the Jews have secrets to make money. Meanwhile, the Orthodox guys are like, what are they talking about? In Korea, they have the Talmud. South Korea, I'm sorry. And they're forced to study the Talmud in South Korea at every home, because they think there's some magic in there to get rich. I mean, what can I say? I mean, at this point, there's nothing you can do anymore with these myths. So, what we have is a situation now where it's winding down to this silly election, and people don't even realize that Congress and the Senate really run everything, and the Supreme Court can override the president. It's like the average person in the street. Do you know that? No. So, well, does it matter if Donald Duck gets elected, or I don't know? Because when they say something, the courts can overturn it, or the Congress and Senate can overturn it. He has somewhat limited powers. So it's like we're in this every few years. Here's how it goes. It's abortion arguments, which is a sensitive topic, I agree. Gay rights, which I'm for. I don't want any people persecuted. Doesn't matter how they stimulate their orifices, as they would say. Different strokes, different folks, and people are born that way. I don't think anyone should be hated or persecuted for that. And flag burning, which is like, so all these things every 4 years, the same exact thing. And I don't know, it's like does anyone stop? Say they're talking about all these other things, yet they're taking your wallet and printing money from your grandchildren's future to pay for silliness now. Trillions, I'm talking trillions now. No longer remember Carl Sagan? Billions of universes and all this, billions of planets, and now it's trillions. It's all of a sudden shifted from billions to trillions. That's 1,000 billion. And they're throwing it around like it's not that. Okay, so I don't know. What comes after trillion now? I don't know. Is there a new one coming up a few years from now? A Googleplex. I don't know. So let's think for a minute here. You know, there's some interesting things like India. Okay, why is the death rate so low? And a country that doesn't really have very, In fact, I just read some things from, I think it was from Human Rights Watch or Amnesty International, no, Doctors Without Borders, that millions of children die, sadly, in India because they don't have vaccines, enough vaccines. And rich people here don't want to take them because of what internet quacks said about autism or mercury. There's no such thing. It's like chemtrails and flat earth people. They want to believe in these things. Like I know people that will go like my old girlfriend would go through all the trouble to make sure it's non-GMO and organic and there's no chemicals. Everything's a chemical. We're a chemical. Everything's chemical. But you say the word chemical, like when you say the word nuclear, ooh, it's bad. So she'd go through all this stuff to have organic stuff, right? Which is okay. I'm not against that. And then go to a tanning bed and lay under UV ionizing radiation every Friday to look like she was in Florida and have a fake tan. Now she's got all wrinkles and she's got skin, what do they call them things when you got to remove them? Sadly, cancerous lesions from UV exposure. I don't know. Can you explain? You can't tell them anything. So, what does that mean? So, I don't know. I think, you know how a few months ago they said UFOs, they said they're real? Which the government and Navy said they saw something they can't explain that outperformed the F-18 Hornet, which is like our top maneuverable Top Gun pilot saw it. The instructor for Top Gun school is the one that reported it. So they couldn't say he was crazy. He's certified to handle nuclear weapons on planes. You're not going to let him fly. So he's not crazy. They recorded it, and maybe these people came from another galaxy or whatever here. They saw how nuts we are and just split. They're like, these people are nuts, man. They're killing each other over religions, over skin colors, over languages, over who knows what. So that was one of the things I'm going to get to before I end up here, is that someone mentioned in one of my videos that I pick on one particular religion. I pick on all religions that do mind-controlled, religions that would tell you they're going to burn in a hellhole if you don't follow and convert to us. And throughout their history, persecuted and killed people and burned them alive for disagreeing or questioning. And anyone that researches that can see which ones they would be. Any religion that doesn't do that, I don't have anything to say negative. I don't hate the people. It's the belief system that I don't like. I don't like the controlled factor. So, sorry if I offended people, but maybe apologize to the people you burned on sticks in Europe and some of my relatives in Lithuania and Russia. What happened to them. And look at the wars in Northern Ireland. even up till the 90s. I mean, two groups that both are the same theology in Europe had the 30 Years' War, which killed tens of millions of people in Europe. Serbia, Kosovo, Croatia, all murdering and killing each other. Slightly, different beliefs than a religion. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't swallow that. I kind of like a deist, where it's like Rabbi Spinoza, which Einstein I'm kind of like. I believe in there's a creator in Hashem, let's say the God. But I don't think these rules and man-made costumes and beliefs and threats of internal fire and I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. And some of the nicest people I know are religious, and also some of the scandalous fraud people I know push religion. So I'm not picking on any people per se, human beings. It's the belief system I pick on. Now look up Christopher Hitchens from Oxford University. He passed away, but he has a pretty good series on religions and exposing some of these deeds that were done in the name of peace, the Prince of Peace, or the other one with Muhammad. Now there's good and bad in each one. Like Indonesia has the largest population of Muslims, and they're mostly all very good people. They don't. It's not the religion. It's like somehow used by certain tyrants and leaders to control the population throughout history by fear or threats of violence and mind control. Certain religions did so much to thwart and say retard medical science, astronomy, physics. All these things were stopped and outlawed and banned by various, religious groups in Europe, mostly. Not in Asia. Asia seemed to be a little bit more open to things. But Europe was really stupid for a long time. I mean, we were pagans running around in the woods with sticks, while people in the Middle East had advanced mathematics. China had mechanisms, compasses, gears. They knew about some chemistry. The Arabs and Africa had some advanced stuff they're finding that was suppressed. They had iron foundries they found way before the Europeans admitted it. They didn't want to admit it, and now it seems like they did have iron foundries and other things in Africa, sub-Saharan. So there was a lot of racist stuff involved with